ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। सुभाषितरत्नम्। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Neither is there any reality beyond the Guru, nor is there any austerity higher than the Guru. There is no knowledge of truth beyond what comes from the Guru. Salutations to that Guru. The realization of the self within is really Ishwar Darshan. Swami Tapovan Maharaj. Fine feelings, sharp intelligence, education, sweet character, dignity, unbroken cheerfulness. These are things which will never die away. Everything else is destructible. Swami Chinmaya. कामादि सर्प व्रजगारुडाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्यनिधिप्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां. श्री Gurupaduka Stotra. Prostrations with dedication to the holy Padukas of Sri Guru, worship of which drives away all desires, and so on, like Garuda mantra, which makes the snakes flee, which bestow on one the treasure of viveka, right thinking, and vairagya, dispassion, and also gives instant liberation through self-knowledge. Let us all worship our Pujya Gurudev. To invoke the blessings of the entire Guru Parampara on you and your family, to continue to lead your life of seva as a sadhak with total faith at the feet of Pujya Gurudev. Chintan. Our true wealth does not consist in what we have, but in what we are. Modern society equates success with the extent of material possessions, assets, salary, etc. A person is categorized as successful based on educational qualifications, job, salary, assets, which he manages to buy over a lifetime. Greater the assets, the quicker the time taken to acquire it. The person is accordingly categorized as, and quicker the time taken to acquire it, the person is accordingly categorized as successful. Material wealth creates the illusion of well-being, safety, security, social status. In fact, only people of a similar status interact with each other, come together. That is why we have the ultra-rich, very poor gap in society. The social circle of people of a particular strata is different. It is only as we age or a calamity strikes our life that we start questioning our assumptions about wealth giving us permanent happiness, security, etc. Otherwise, throughout our life, we are busy with all kinds of investments, asset purchases, diversifying across assets and geographies. In India, we not only accumulate wealth for us, but also for the next generation, which is not the case in West. Also, this wealth fuels consumerism, because of which, as our net worth increases, we upscale. This is commonly referred to as premiumization, to be it in terms of international schools, colleges, lavish hotels, overseas travel, etc. We have also seen that speculative asset bubbles also give this false sense of confidence, and people consume today based on expected future wealth, etc. This relentless chase for material possessions leaves individuals feeling empty or disconnected from their true selves. True wealth resides within our inner qualities, our virtues, resilience, wisdom, compassion, integrity, and sense of purpose. Character and virtues such as kindness, honesty, patience, humility, etc., enrich our lives and foster meaningful relationships. This provides resilience amongst life's challenges, self awareness, and authenticity. This creates trust and fulfillment. Inner peace and contentment arises not because of material wealth, but in spite of lack of it. Wisdom and personal growth, our ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Our wealth is many a times proportional to the extent to which we have developed ourselves. When external wealth is there, internal wealth may or may not be there. But when internal wealth is there, the presence of or absence of external wealth has little or no impact. This is not to say that Hinduism glorifies poverty. Ours is a religion which favors meritocracy, encourages people to create wealth, and use it for welfare of society. Wealth has a meaning or purpose. In fact, the very body has its sole objective of serving others. It is not a vehicle for sense enjoyment. Hence, we need to use wealth as a means to an end rather than as an end in itself. Because ultimately, at the time of death, whether we like it or not, we have to let go of all accumulated external wealth, even the very body, in one go. This is very painful emotionally at the very end. Hence, true maturity is to realize that nothing belongs to us. We are only custodians. Use material wealth as a means to serve others. Hence, the saying, the more you give, the more you get. Wealth should not be locked up, it has to flow. Living consciously with the understanding that being is the true wealth transforms our priorities. That being is the true wealth transforms our priority. Practical implications of this living includes cultivating inner qualities, to simplifying life, 3 building genuine connections, and 4 living with purpose. Our character, virtues, and inner peace is the most valuable treasures we possess. Cultivate this inner wealth regardless of external circumstances. In a small village, there was a poor farmer who owned a modest piece of land and a few animals. Despite his limited wealth, he was known for his kindness, humility, and happiness. His joy came from his deep relationships with his family and neighbors, his love for the simple life, and his gratitude for what he had. One day, a wealthy merchant passing through the village heard about the farmer's happiness despite his poverty. He asked him as to how he was so happy and so little possessions. What was the secret? The farmer replied that though he might own very little in the world's riches, he has everything that truly matters like love, gratitude, etc. These are the real treasures which no gold or silver can buy. The merchant realized that true wealth is not what we accumulate, but the qualities we nurture within ourselves. An article by Param Puja Guru Dev Swami Chinmayanandaji, the most beloved of all. It is a sad truth of life, whether you like it or not, that everything you do is only for your own happiness. This is a truth that should not be proclaimed aloud in the community. That is why Vedantic masters always took the student to a quiet place, away from society, and secretly told him this honest truth. You protest. No, Swamiji, you are mistaken. I love my wife, my children. You love her because she is conducive to you. So long as the children lovingly call you Papa, 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 you will declare that you love your children. But when the boy is 14 or 15 years old and rebels, does not listen to you, goes out and returns late at night, how much love do you feel? When you analyze this, you will understand that you love your wife because she brings you happiness. You love your children because they love you. When you were building this ashram, I was so happy. Now anyone who comes, I ask them, would you like it? Take it away, take it away. Why? It has become a source of misery to me. It is true. I love all things if they can bring me happiness. In fact, what you love most in the world is your own Atman, the self. Straighten out. Observe a bow. By its inherent nature, the bow is straight. When you tie a string on the top and pull it, the twang sound of the string is created because the bow wants to go back to its original nature. The more you bend the bow, the more is the twang. Now realizing this, people cry out, so many tensions in my life. Where did they come from? It is not because of what you breathe. It is not due to what you eat or drink. It is not because of the people around you. Your true nature is Atman Brahman, identified with the body, mind, intellect, BMI, and the world outside. Tension is created. Even if you identify with something other than the BMI, something further from it, such as wealth, power, and so on, there is inordinate tension. But this is not your nature. It is not you. The poor Atman, the self in your own self, wants to go back to its original nature, which is Satchidananda. That is the reason why everyone is running after pleasure, plant, animal, and human. Pure bliss is your true nature, not knowing it, non apprehension. You misapprehended you misapprehend the world of plurality and consider that you will get happiness from it. The rishis reflected deeply and understood the entire structure of the human personality. They declared a truth that clearly exposes the lie in you. No, the lie you exposes the lie you and I are living. The lie you and I are living. They said that you are searching only for your own true nature. That is why almost all of us are directly or indirectly, secretly or openly, utterly selfish. You have to be. Why? Because you are considering yourself to be the limited ego. The ego cannot but love itself because it is trying to return to its original nature. The tension in the string of the bow can be reduced when the bow is allowed to go a little nearer to its original nature. If it is bent less, the tension is less. Consider stringed instruments where the tension has to be just right to get melodious music. Think the further you and I move away from our true nature, the more is the excitement, agitation, worries, anxieties, depression, oppression, and repression. Relax and you return to your original freedom, peace, and happiness to shock you so that the realization, the knowledge, understanding can come. The teacher hits you right between the eyes. He makes such a witty statement that you are shocked to think correctly. आत्मार्थत्वेन हि प्रेयं विषयो न स्वतः प्रियः स्वत एव हि सर्वेषामात्मा प्रियतमो यतः तत आत्मा सदानन्दो नास्य दुःखं कदाचन. Sense objects give pleasure only because of the self, which manifests through them, and not independently, for the self is, by its very nature, the most beloved of all. The self being in its ever, the self therefore is ever blissful and can never suffer any grief or misery. Indeed, it is only for the sake of your own self that things are very dear to you. आत्मार्थत्वेन हि preyan विषयो. In themselves they are not so. न स्वतः प्रियः. Fire by itself is hot. Anybody, anywhere, touching fire will get burnt. It is its nature. Sugar is sweet, its own nature. Whoever puts it in the mouth, he experiences sweetness only. Vishaya, the objects of the world outside, do not have the capacity to give pleasure, happiness, or satisfaction to all the time, because the pleasure or happiness is not in the object. To the non smoker, a packet of cigarettes has no value. To the smoker, it is great pleasure. To a South Indian, if you give a cup of tea, he will not appreciate it at all. He wants coffee. To the Punjabi, if you give tea or coffee, he will turn it down and demand a glass of cool, creamy lassi. If Vishayas had happiness, they should have they should give happiness to everybody. It is not so. It is only the object that you think will give you happiness that is dear to you. All wives are not dear to me generally, but my wife is the most precious and loved, is it not? You do not love all children, but my child is special. To one who lives in Uttar Pradesh, it is heaven. Kerala holds no special place in his heart. Therefore, a place, a time, or an object by itself is not happiness. It cannot give satisfaction to all people equally. Na swatah priyah. By itself, it has no contentment or happiness. You love people for things only because they bring happiness to you. The spring of all love is the love for yourself. Things are dear to you because of Atmartha, a mass of love. If this hall is on fire, you will all run. I can't run because of my leg. You will stand outside and say, Oh Guru Maharaj, Guru, you go, Brahmachari, go and help. Each one will tell the other, it is not your fault. It is because you love yourself. Not that you don't love the Guru, but that is only because whenever a problem or doubt is there, you can go and ask him and he will tell you. He gives you good food and provides comfortable accommodation, so you love him. If I start giving you trouble, if I tell you, memorize that slok and only then come here tomorrow, or else I don't want you here, then you will be upset and leave soon. It is not your fault. It is the universal law. You love yourself and you love the external object which give you love or comfort. It is a reflection of your love for yourself. Thus, Atma Priyatamo Yataha. Indeed, the Atman is the most lovable. You love all of this, no doubt, but you love yourself the maximum. You love them only because you love the self. Why? Because it is pure love. Its very nature is love. Therefore, this Atman at all times gives you satisfaction, happiness. There is not even a trace of sorrow in the Atman. Tat Atma Sadanando Nasya Dukkham Kadachana. It is all bliss by nature. It is a mass of love. Every living being loves it. Nobody can say, I hate Atman, I hate myself. Can you say that? You can you may hate a certain aspect of your body, your behavior, your certain thoughts, but you yourself are a mass of love. When you are not in contact with the BMI, body, mind, intellect, and OET, objects, emotion, and thoughts, in all such cases, you are in Paramananda. All sorrows in your life are due to your identification with the BMI and OET. You understand yourself to be conditioned by your own thoughts as an ego, as a karta and bhokta, a doer of things and an enjoyer of things. If only you can withdraw yourself away from these, your nature would be as blissful as the self itself, the bliss of deep sleep. You protest, oh Swamiji, this is an exaggeration. No, it is not. In deep sleep, yat sushuptau, there is no body, mind, or intellect. The endless variety of objects, emotions, and thoughts nir, nirvish, nirvishava, nirvishay, nirvishay, where there are no objects to perceive or to experience, you are in the state of Atman, the self, the pure self. Atmanando na nubhuyate. Atmanando nubhuyate. You are immersed in that. Atmanando nubhuyate. In deep sleep, nobody has ever complained, I slept well, but my sorrows continued. Whether your only son died or you suffered losses in business and became a pauper overnight, the moment you sleep, you are Ananda itself. To the to the sleeper, while sleeping, there are no vikshepas, agitations in the or the of the mind, because there are no vishayas there. You are at a place where there are no objects, nirvishaya, nirvishaya. Beyond the BMI, body, mind, intellect, and OET, object, emotion, thoughts. That which is beyond BMI and OET is the pure self. But Swamiji, I am not experiencing it. This is because the pure self is covered by your own tamas, ignorance, avidya. Remove the tamas and agitations of your mind by conscious sadhana, and with that steady mind and sattvic mood, reach a point where Vishayas are left behind. There and then, you will directly experience the Atma Sukha, the bliss which is the nature of the Atman. Get a visa at this moment, even though you are taken there in deep sleep. You cannot experience it fully because you have no visa to remain there. You will be chucked out. When a foreigner wants to come to India and stay here, he must get a visa. If he does not have one, he will be stopped at the airport, and if he manages to get in clandestinely, clandestinely, the government will find out and he will be thrown out. Clandestinely. Similarly, even though you are in the pure self, you cannot directly experience it. You are blindfolded. Suppose I take you to heaven, blindfold your eyes, and bring you back. You are asked, where have you been? Heaven, what was there? I couldn't see. I was blindfolded. You are not able to experience it because the intellect is covered by tamas. There you can only experience I don't know. Avidya alone you experience, not vidya. So logically, where there are no Vishayas, as in deep sleep, you in Brahman. I am not saying it, the Upanishads declare so. Pratyaksham. It is everybody's direct experience. In deep sleep, there are Vishayas, you know it. In deep sleep, nobody complains about being unhappy. Your crisis, your problems will never reach you in sleep. Before sleep, you were in worry, trouble, sorrow, agitation, and anxiety. On getting up, you face the same troubles again. Therefore, through anumanam, inference, the intellect understands that in between you were peaceful. All these four means of knowledge, Shruti, Pratyaksham, I think, Anumanam, Cha, Jagrati, Shruti, direct perception, tradition, and inference. Direct perception in inference clearly declare it is the experience of all living beings that in deep sleep there is no sorrow. They convey this knowledge to us beyond the contact of the BMI and OET. In that still moment of contemplation, you directly experience Brahman. But because you are overwhelmed by extreme tamas, all that you experience in deep sleep is pure ignorance and non apprehension. However, in samadhi, you are overwhelmed with knowledge with the light of consciousness. Those people who are in the circle of light know it. Just as when you look at a light, you see nothing for some time as you are temporarily blinded by it. In that divine state, you come to directly experience Brahman. Even in deep sleep, you are in Brahman, but you are not conscious of it. Objectless awareness is the nature of Brahman. In deep sleep, objectlessness is there, but there is no awareness of the divine. Get the visa and come to know the pure self. Demystifying meditation 1 Param Puja Swami Swarupananda. Is meditation an action to be in constant awareness of one's true nature, or is it an action to raise, evolve one's intellectual level? Swami Swarupananda answered, we are always used to doing something and we are aware of what we are doing. But awareness is not an action. The term awareness can also be understood with reference to the degree of attentiveness given to something. Meditation is the awareness of yourself. For example, we know the nature of the sun is light. The light of the sun falls on all objects, and that's how we see and recognize the object. The sun doesn't do anything to light up the object. The light of the sun is not an effort. Likewise, to know your true nature is neither an effort nor a perception. It is the constant state of being yourself. It is a state of wrong understanding. How here constant awareness refers to the need to constantly remind ourselves what we are not and what we are. That is the practice, contemplation, to be mindfully present and be aware of our thoughts. Why does one feel sleepy during meditation? The mind knows only two states, the state of agitation and the state of quietude. In sleep, our mind is accustomed to recognizing quietude as sleep. We can overcome this challenge. How long should we meditate? It is good to have at least half an hour of effective and quiet meditation. Do it with love, dedication, and sincerity. That is concentration in action. Should we meditate in a light or a dark room? In the initial stages, it is preferable to be in a dark room. Once you become habituated, you can do it in a lighted room. Closing the light better as images will flash in the mind when the light is on. Should you meditate on an empty stomach? It is preferable to meditate on an empty stomach in the early hours of the morning. It is better to sit for meditation when your stomach is light and the mind is not thinking about food. The mind should be alert, not heavy or sleepy. Generally, the best time for meditation is early morning when you have rested and are energetic but calm. If you select any other time of the day, make sure that the stomach is empty. Should we focus on the same object for 1 week, or can we change our focus daily? It is better to focus on one object at least for a week. Once you are habituated, you can focus on different objects. How do I overcome physical pain like a toothache or a body ache to meditate? In the beginning stages, you must practice meditation in pain free or relatively pain free conditions, for it will be difficult to practice it when you are in excruciating pain, such as toothache. However, once you are regularly practicing meditation, it becomes easy to do it even during physically painful conditions. The moment you lift your mind away from the body, you would be surprised that you don't feel the pain at all. I can assure you that we can all do it. Children are not aware of pain while playing. When you are watching an engrossing movie on television, I am sure you forget the pain. At the beginning of meditation, as you mere mentally advise parts of your body, such as the back or knees, to relax, you will find that the pain also reduces. The fact is that many of our pains are due to the tension in the body. So it is important to practice these earlier steps of meditation to relax and the muscles of the body. Initially, you may find that the pain level seems to increase. This is because you are focusing on the parts of the body. As you continue to relax gradually, you will find that the pain just vanishes. However, this is possible only with regular practice. During meditation, I feel like I am going to fall off the chair. Sometimes I feel my head jerk also. What should I do to balance my body and posture? The best thing is to sit on the ground. However, like most of us, if cannot do that because of back, hip or knee issues, just make sure comfortably on a chair. Clear, detailed instructions are given. These introductory steps in the sixth chapter of the Gita. Do not sit on a very high chair so that your feet are dangling. This may make you feel that you are going to fall off. Keep your feet firmly on the ground. Keep them a little apart. Don't worry, nobody else is there. Sometimes, if sleep overwhelms you, there may be a tendency to jerk your head or feel that you are going to fall off. That is why the ideal condition is to sit on the ground cross legged with maximum base in a comfortable position, not necessarily in Padmasana. Otherwise, sit on a comfortable chair with an armrest so that there is no danger of falling. This is necessary in the initial stages. Later on, you will be able to keep yourself steady quite easily. When we pursue a hobby like cooking or gardening, the mind gets fully absorbed in that. Is that considered meditation or not, Swamiji? While engaged in these hobbies, you can see how a concentrated mind works. You see how easily it focuses on something you love and enjoy doing. That same attitude should be there towards the attainment of the Lord, the truth, the infinite, the self. Therefore, make meditation a hobby that you enjoy doing. Of course, we have to go beyond all this, where no questions remain. But this is to give you an idea of how to do it. Once you start enjoying the meditation itself, your mind will cooperate beautifully. Meditation requires purity of mind. However, can meditation itself purify our minds? Yes, it does. Our erroneous notions and subtle impurities of the mind are gradually removed by consistent meditation. But the grosser, extroverted thoughts and negativities are removed through Karma Yoga. How do you bring bhakti and shraddha to the seat of meditation? Is reflection to be done before starting meditation? That is why it is said, Sadgurum Pranamya. One's Guru is the revered and visible altar of immense compassion and kindness. Therefore, when we think of our Guru, from whom we have gained this knowledge, love, and guidance, the heart melts in love and reverence immediately. And with love comes Shraddha, faith in the Guru, that it culminates in an outpouring of love. Hence, meditation is not just a dry exercise in trying to quieten the mind. The attempt is to fill your heart with the presence of the loving person. Sometimes we read about mystical gurus who lived for 500 years in the Himalayas and imagine that such a guru will look into our eyes and there will be a flash of light. This is not what is referred to as bhakti and shraddha. It is a deep love, devotion, and faith that you will feel towards that person, that guru, and that guru parampara, from where you gained this priceless knowledge. However, if you do not have any shraddha or love for the guru, or you do not know who your guru is, all you need to do is to focus on anyone you feel love and reverence for, your mother, father, or grandparent. You can also visualize something from nature, such as the sun, the moon, Mother Earth, the wind, and so on. Think of the abundance that you have been given. Feel loved and love and joy will well up in your heart. Hari Om. Tat Sat. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri